your situation, and I want to talk about the person you lost, the connection you had, the space they held in your life, and how it feels now that they are no longer there in the same way. You really believed this would last. Not just for now, but in a lasting, stable way. You allowed yourself to relax into it. You trusted it. You let yourself feel safe. And what you're feeling right now is not just sadness, it's confusion. It's a kind of distortion. Because something that felt certain is no longer there. What you're experiencing follows a very human pattern. When we lose someone we believed would stay, the mind begins to move through different stages of grief. Not in a straight line, not perfectly, but in a way that helps you slowly understand what happened. I want to walk through those with you. The first stage is denial. This is where your mind quietly says, this isn't really happening. You may have replayed conversations, checked your phone, expecting to hear from them. Part of you stayed connected to the version of reality where nothing had to change. This is not you being unrealistic. It's your mind protecting itself. Accepting the full weight of the loss all at once would have been too much. So it gives you distance from it, time to adjust. Then, for many people, that feeling shifts into the second stage. Anger. This does not always look like obvious anger. It can feel like frustration, confusion, tension. You might find yourself asking questions. Why did they do this? Why did things change? Why didn't I see it? You may feel frustrated with them, or even frustrated with yourself. But underneath that anger is something very simple. It mattered. You do not feel anger over something that did not matter to you. That anger is your mind trying to make sense of something that feels unfair or incomplete. After that, many people move into the third stage, bargaining. This is where the what-if thoughts begin. What if I said something differently? What if I did something differently? What if I reached out now? Your mind starts trying to rewrite the story. It searches for a different version where the ending is different. Not because you are stuck, but because letting go means accepting that it is truly over. And your mind approaches that that slowly. Then over time, the energy of those thoughts begins to quiet. And what replaces it is often the fourth stage, depression. This is where the reality of the loss starts to settle in. You feel the absence in small moments, in quiet moments, when something happens and you think of them. When you want to share something and you realize you cannot. It can feel heavy, like something is missing. Not just the person, but the way you felt when you were connected to them. This stage can feel the hardest, but it's also where the real processing begins. Your mind is no longer avoiding the loss or trying to fix it. It is beginning to feel it fully and slowly over time. Something begins to shift again. This is the fifth stage, acceptance. Acceptance does not mean you are suddenly okay with what happened. It does not mean you forget. It does not mean it did not hurt. It means you begin to understand that it ended. Not because it was not real, but because it was not meant to continue. You begin to separate the meaning of the connection from the outcome of it. You can hold the memory without needing it to still be happening. You start to carry it differently. Now, something important to remember is this. You will not move through these stages perfectly. You may go back and forth. You may feel acceptance one day and sadness the next. That does not mean you are doing anything wrong. It means you are processing something that mattered. And things that matter take time. I want you to notice something else. The way you showed up in that connection. The depth you felt. The care you gave. The presence you offered. That came from you. That is your capacity. And that is not something that you lost. It's something you still have. Which means you are capable of experiencing that kind of connection again. In a space that can hold it. In a space that meets you with the same depth. Right now, your mind is adjusting. It is learning that this connection is no longer active. It is learning to redirect your emotional energy. That takes time. There will be moments where it feels like you have accepted it. And moments where it feels fresh again. This is part of the process. You are not doing this wrong. You are moving through something that mattered. And just because this did not last forever does not mean it wasn't real. It lives in the way you connect, the way you care, the way you feel. Even though this chapter has ended, your story is not. There are still connections ahead that will meet you where you are. For now, allow yourself to sit with this. Let it soften over time. Feel it without trying to rush it away. You are not broken. You are someone who loved, who felt deeply, who showed up fully. And that is not something to lose. That is something to carry forward. You are still here, still capable of connection, still capable of being seen, still capable of being valued. And in time, this will feel lighter, not because it did not matter, but because you will know how to hold it, and you will continue forward with everything you have learned, with everything you still are. And that is enough. I hope this session helped you out today.